my knitters. My name is Karen. This is Recreational Knitting. And today we are going to have a bit of a different... Hello, Bonnie. This is my guest, Bonnie. Can you say hi, Bonnie? Yes. We're going to have a bit of a different focus. We are going to discuss some possible September patterns for you. I've broken it down into cowls, mitts, and shawls for today's video. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy the few that I've picked. By all means, certainly not exhaustive. Just a place for you to start thinking about what it is that you'd like to make with just one skein of yarn. Join in for our One Skein September and see what you can get up to. Stay tuned. See you in a minute. This is the Bulky Mobius Cowl by Haley Waxberg. You can find this on Ravelry, and it uses one skein of a bulky weight yarn. The designer calls for 90 yards, and it is a free Ravelry download. It comes in a small, medium, and medium large size so that you can make it for children or adults. She's knit this one in Malabrigo Rasta, and it looks very simple to knit. Number 2 up is the Cloverfield Cowl by Skagit Valley Crochet. Yes, it's still knit, and she uses fingering weight for this particular pattern. She's calling for 345 to 400 yards, which is perfect for a skein of sock yarn. And this cost $6 on Ravelry. Its skill level is basic or a confident beginner. I think it would look great. I love the intricate lace pattern. I think that would be a really lovely knit. Number 3 is the Clear Skies Cowl by Heather Walpole. Walpole, not sure how she says that. This is calling for fingering weight as well. It is a free download off of Ravelry, and she is requesting that you have at least 332 yards. It again is an easy lace weight with some texture in it. It's a light and lofty cowl, perfect to wear as springtime accessory or tuck it under a jacket for a touch of color. Lovely. The last cowl that I picked for you is called the Cowl Reislas Number 2 by Gabrielle Mule Ronnewinkle. I'm sure I butchered all of that. I am so sorry, Gabrielle. This is written in English and German and would lend itself wonderfully to one of the yarns that fades right into the next. I'm thinking a Zauberball. It would be a great way to use that type of yarn. This is 2.4 euros on Ravelry, and it's really got a rating of very easy, even though it looks very difficult. Might make a really good present for somebody that you're trying to impress with your knitting skills. These first mitts are called the Point Edward mitts, which I always try to misname the Prince Edward mitts. These are actually currently on my needles. This calls for a DK weight, even though I'm using worsted and it's working up fine. I'm currently using a Malabrigo and it is working up lovely. Of course, I'm changing mine to make modifications, but it is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I Number 2 is the Riptide Mitts by Jennifer Shields Tolan. This is a $6 pattern on Ravelry, calling for DK weight, and she's calling anywhere from 115 to 190 yards, I guess depending on the small, medium, large size that you would knit. This has a simple textured simple lace and broken rib pattern, and she also has a cowl that she also sells on Ravelry called the Riptide Cowl. The next pattern that I'm showing you is called the Everything November Mitts by Jen Yard. She sells that for $4.99 on Ravelry. That's US dollars. And she calls for 160 to 165 yards of fingering weight yarn to complete them. It looks like you can use sock yarn of any sort. You can use scraps. You can use self-striping yarn. Any of those lovely sock yarns that we all buy at festivals. And they just make me happy looking at them. So I think I'm going to try myself to make a pair of these for one of my daughters later this year. This is the Lone Skein Shawl by Hohilakoteli. And those of you that don't know of her should. She's a prolific designer and designs a lot of sweaters, shawls, really you name it. She has designed it. I had knit this for the last One Skein September and actually gifted it to a friend of mine who says she really enjoys it. It is a fantastic pattern, well written, highly recommended. This next one is called the Done Loose Shawl by Brenda Brayfield. She's charging $8 Canadian for this on Ravelry. And this is a enjoyable and effortless knit with no purling. So those of you that dislike purling, this is the one for you. She calls for 132 to 430 yards. She comes in 4 different sizes and it's fingering weight, and it reminds me a lot of the Sophie shawl, but it has 4 different sizes included in the pattern. This shawl is called the Shawl for Everybody by Fatima Hines, and I happen to really like the shape of this. It's long, thin, and she has written 2 versions, one for garter and one for stockinette. It looks like it has a small cable and a little bit of lace there on the edge, and it's in DK weight. She uses Lola Bean yarns, and it calls for 400 to 460 yards. So you may be pressing it for a DK, but I bet you could probably get a fingering weight to work just as easily in this particular shawl. That's the beauty of shawls. This last entry is called The Shawl of Swords. This is by Jake Kenyon, and he's asking $8 for it on Ravelry. asking for a fingering weight, but also having a fingering plus lace option where you can include silk mohair in this. And you can see by the texture that this is quite fluffy. It's a perfect accent for cool summer nights, and it's got great shoulder coverage because of the shape. The Shaw of Swords is a part of a year-long collaboration with Spun Right Round Yarns. So I think this is really beautiful, and I'm considering knitting this one myself. I'm back. I hope that you found some inspiration in a couple of those patterns and given you some ideas for, oh, I didn't realize I could use bulky, or, mitts, really? I can do that? You certainly can. Anything that would use up one skein, and it can be precious yarn, or it can be that yarn that you've had in your stash for 7 years and you've not a clue what to do with it. I hope you find some inspiration here, and I'll be back in a few days with some more ideas for hats and scarves. So, be looking out for that. Knit in peace.